Hi, Eddie. All right. All right, Solofise. Let's do it. One final venture for now. We are finally strong enough to save Naramatsu. Fuck. I can't remember. I can't remember. That's so bad. Well, we'll learn. It's just not coming to me. Jesus Christ. All right, anyway. I do want to do the last Marauder quest, though. So there is one more thing we should do. And that's just the Marauder quest so that we can learn one more ability. I don't think we'll need it, but won't hurt. Should have the power to do it. But we'll see. Alright, time to fight Kujata again. Oh, I gotta go to there again. Alright, whatever. Alright, let's see. I can do a rogue quest on the way, might as well. But as you can see, we now have a full set of level 30 gear, a level 25 axe. So, we could, I think, go one up to the bill. Thought we can go to the bill. I guess not. Anyway, the Labrys. But it requires walnut lumber, and I don't feel like going for it. Yeah, it would just, level 25 axe should work well enough. I mean, we could always just, you know, we could just level further until we... I just saw my life flash before my eyes. What the fuck are you doing there? I just looked over and there's Satan. Cool. Yeah, we also have we do have high quality potions. Should be good enough, honestly. Restore 40% of HP. It definitely won't be we're definitely hitting the cap on that very quickly. So it's not the best. I think we could go over high potions that would require leveling Alchemist a lot more, so we should be alright. Alright, I'm ready for Kajata. I don't think one of these days I gotta read the Marauder's quest line. This one, it just never seemed like it's good. This one is the one I'm least interested in. I don't remember the Arcanist quest line being special either, but at least it had cute girls. I guess Soaklib is pretty cute. It's not. She's not a cat girl though, so minus points. All right, now it looks like we can't progress until I don't know, unless we see some sort of overturned Wayne. Well, 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 would you look at that? Look what the cat dragged in. It's Kujata. Umbar always fucking dies because he always goes in the middle of his pack and doesn't dodge any of the AoEs, and then he gets infirmaried. Yeah, dot orange bad. No, he just leaves. He didn't even fucking die. He just hit, bro. What the hell? Come on. I mean, he's there. He's just... That wasn't that bad. Come on. Come on. All right. Giant beast down. Congratulations. 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 Alrighty. Now we learn another little trick. We can't get our job stone yet, because that requires getting through a level 20 quest, I think. But we can do this. Yay, thrill of battle. Now we can do the event. Finally. Alright, level 31. Should be able to equip our second sphere ring. Actually, should be better than what we have. Because it requires, yeah, this gives us better, the stats that actually matter. Just slightly better, but should work. Oh, I haven't been to Coastal Soul. Alrighty. Ah, dude, it feels so good having crafted all this stuff myself. I'm not used to that. You don't have to work for your gear usually in this game. It's time to relax on the beach. I think our favorite, fortunately the fate is going on now, and I don't think we can actually get a thing in it. 66% done. Either there's someone there. Pick up a worm. My pickaxe breaks. Thanks, Final Fantasy 11. Shake that like a motherfucker. And this is a chill game. Hey, I don't think I mean, no one is here. Iroha, this does confirm that Iroha really cannot die in this. She was clearly alone the entire time, just kind of living it. I don't think we're gonna get a gold commendation though, so I don't think we can actually do anything here. I don't think this is actually worth doing, but never mind, that just counted. Alright, sweet. We like barely did anything on that one, holy shit. Not really a solo experience. The NPC kinda did most of the work. I don't know how well that counts, but there was another player. And we did say that forced NPCs helping in combat, I think it just has to happen. In this game at several occasions, though. Nope. That's a child's. That's Cloud Strife. And that's a child. Alright, sweet. Good. We're in a good place. Kill me, children. It's okay. That's right. I forgot about that. Familiar. Something dark. The Shadow Lord. Player counts on 11 apparently are like through the roof. There's been a couple. It's actually really nice. So I'm in the Final Fantasy 11 subreddit. And there was a very nice post in there. It was like, you know, so with all the influx of new people coming to 14, what's everyone thinks? Yeah, they're way above expectations. It's actually like, it's kind of crazy right now. People expected a bunch of people from the crossover, but they also expected them to leave, or like they expected numbers to go down when the hype went down, and they really haven't. Like, it's just kind of we've had a bunch of people. And so they did a there was like a question in the subreddit. There was like, you know, with all the new people, how are you guys feeling? Like, do you think this is a good thing? And everyone like unanimously was like, yeah, you know, like it seems like I don't know. Yeah, like I think a new expansion would be really cool. It would also mean I would have to play Final Fantasy for longer, but oh no, I have to play more Final Fantasy. I don't know. I'd be definitely down. Like, new Final Fantasy 11 content. I don't even know what they would do. But like, there's a lot of Vana'diel. Which is, I think, the coolest part of 11. Is I like the idea of different shards. So obviously 14 is going in the realm of like, oh, you know, for Evercold, there's like different realms and stuff like that. I haven't gotten there in my official stuff, but that's what I've heard. There's like different realms, and you know, now we can sort of hop dimensions and or not really dimensions, hop worlds within this sort of realm, and visit the different shards. And I don't know what that means, but anyway, that's what we're doing. But what I think is cool about 11 is that everything is contained, and I guess I shouldn't say this. There is literally time travel, but it's all, you know, it's all exploring like the vastness of Vana'diel, and I think a new expansion exploring like a different section that we've never been to would be really sick. Because there's a lot of Vana'diel that we hear about during the stories that we do not. Like we've never been to in the game. There's a lot of like Ottergod is a huge place, and you only hear about a little bit of it. And then there's a bunch of stuff like. All right, hold on. Yeah, that's the other thing is that, like, so Final Fantasy 14 is very similar. Eorzea, is one part of a very huge whole. That, pause. It's part of a larger system is what I mean. It's a larger world. Pause. But there's a lot of Eorzea, is what I'm trying to say. I think going to other, like, going and visiting, I think visiting other worlds is cool, but I think fully mapping the realm is honestly cooler. And I hope 14, I don't know, like, I expect 14 to just go forever, you know, and eventually they'll map the realm. Yeah, there's a lot of areas even in base game that we haven't been to. I'm not super privy to the stuff we haven't been to, but there's sections of like Old Da, like what was the like that like are just not explored. Like there's various there's a lot of sections of base Eorzea that like small little stories that that can be expanded upon. I don't think we're probably not gonna get like more areas in the base stuff, but there's still like there's endless possibilities. So many things we could do. Yeah, islands around Kugane. That's what I've heard. Places of different places in Alamigo. I don't know how. Like I know Endwalker deals with Garlemald, but if I remember correctly, like Garlemald isn't like you don't see a whole lot of Garlemald. I remember correctly, like I've been there, but like if I remember what people have said about Garlemald, I think rather I have to move them. I don't think we're ever gonna get like a in. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I don't know what happened to the Garleans, but that is what I think is cool. Is like that's the same. Basically, I want the same thing with 11. I want I just want like I want the whole thing mapped out. I want to go to new unexplored lands and get completely new stories. In Vanadil. Like there's just like that's honestly the best thing about Final Fantasy. Like it, or maybe the most, maybe not the best, like, you know, like I guess the best could be argued, but I think the most iconic aspect of Final Fantasy is always when the world opens up. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I thought. Is like that from the first game. You know, you think about like the most memorable part of the first game is arguably, besides I guess like fighting the final boss, maybe. I mean, it could depend on anyway. But I think the most memorable thing for the first game, at least, is getting the airship, and then you're like, I can fucking go anywhere. I can just go places. And that's for like most of the Final Fantasy. It's just like I get the airship. I can just see what's there, and you know, there's usually like some optional stuff. You know, yeah, that sense of exploration has been there from the first game. It's arguably one of the earliest core tenets of the series, and of, you know, I guess of like RPGs in general. You know, it's just fun to wander around the world map. But that's what I think MMOs are so great, is that because is that they like these games 11 and 14 are massive games, both in just the amount of space you can run around in, and of course in content. 11 is actually way bigger than 14, I think, in the amount of space you can run around in. It's actually crazy. I don't think we could ever fly over the whole map. I think Like, that would be really fucking awesome. Even if they did like a little, like, you know, like if they did like this, you know, like you can like fly over like a thing that looked like this, basically. This would be cool. It would be cooler if we could just like see everything, but like I think even if we like if they just oh you know you got this map. Oh, 11 areas are way more empty. That's definitely true. I don't think the 11's sense of scale, I think, is really good. But it absolutely, I would say it absolutely suffers from the fact that it was made in 2002, and just does not have the amount of detail and individual, like 14 has a lot of individual little placements in the level that makes different areas stand out, even in the desert. You know, you think about like the Segoli Desert, this like yeah, and that's totally fair, because the beginning of 11 is just miserable trying to walk through this stuff, beyond like so I do agree with that. I think 11's big areas is a positive for it, but I don't think it's like necessary. Oh, I think dinner's ready. Hold on. Yeah, the thing I said, stream's gonna be split up into two. So I eat dinner. So I'm gonna go eat dinner. But I do think it can be a big negative. I do think so. Let me finish my thoughts real quick before I leave. The idea of hold on, I don't think I tuned to this guy. The idea of yeah, there we go. I lost it. I got distracted by dinner. But I think I don't think 11 needed to be that big. But it is very impressive. I think the coolest thing about that scale is the travel time. It is like that is the most bullshit thing I've ever said in my entire life, guaranteed. And I've said some pretty big lies. The travel time between areas are so cool and so dumb. You know, you have to go in a boat in real time that travels the map, and that's such a sick, twisted concept. But like it's so like 11's world, 14's world feels lived in. It feels like every aspect of the world is something that someone has made their favorite part. It's like how every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon. It's like everyone has their favorite Aetheryte zone, you know, and like little quirk, like even, you know, you have this big desert, this big expanse of nothing, but it still has, there's an Amalja camp over here. This is a fishing zone for a big fish. There's this little quest in Bayergot Strike. You know, there's fates and stuff like that. It's largely very empty. But there is like even in an area meant to be empty, there is still little touches of individual like intrigue that you can go and explore. 11 doesn't have much of that. It tries to. It has the NMs. The NMs are basically 11's version of Fates. They're little mini world bosses that you can all take on together. But I do think yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, and I really do want to explore both worlds a great deal. So I think like, regardless of if you like 14 or you like 11 or you don't like either of the games, I think both of them have significant merits. And obviously I've grown to like both games very much. So I just think the you know, expanding either world can only ever be good. You know, and unless the story sucks ass, you know, that's always a possibility. World of Warcraft has been through some ass expansions, apparently. Like it's like World of Warcraft every couple of years goes through like, oh, you know, want to explore this big open zone? We killed the writers apparently, and we resurrected their corpse, and made them turn out slop or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat dinner. I'll be right back, or I'll be back in a bit, but I'll stop streaming for now. Peace. We're relying on new house. We need to steal WoW's housing so bad. Anyway, all right, peace out.